and it's fantastic to have you with me today. I always get excited about diving into big, heady topics, especially when they touch on the core of, like, who we are as people, right? Today we've got a fascinating discussion lined up. It's all about the nature of the mind, the soul, and, well, what psychology is actually trying to uncover about us. The paper, well, technically the book review on our radar today is The Architecture of the Mind, The Logos-Centered Psychology by Sayles. Seriously, this work covers a huge swath of intellectual terrain. It's one part philosophical excavation, one part theological argument, and a whole lot of soul-searching, literally. All right, so what's the core question Sayles is asking here? In a nutshell, has modern psychology lost its soul? Why does that matter to you and me? Now, this isn't just like poetic or a rhetorical musing. Sayles argues that over the centuries, psychology's shifted from exploring the soul, the psyche, to just scanning brain chemistry, analyzing behaviour, and crunching statistics. He's basically saying that without grounding psychology in some deeper, maybe even divine principle, the whole field ends up, I don't know, fragmented, disconnected, and maybe unable to really answer the deeper questions about why we think and feel and hope the way we do. Why is that significant? Well, if you've ever wondered about what makes you truly you, beyond just neurons firing or environmental conditioning, this whole line of questioning actually matters a ton. It touches on questions of mental health, human flourishing, and even purpose. Are we just clever animals, or is there a kind of architecture behind our minds that points somewhere deeper? Sayles is nudging us, well, more like urging us, to think beyond textbooks and MRI scans. Now, how does S.C. Sayles approach this? So, what's the intellectual roadmap here? The book unfolds through a sort of journey tracing the evolution of psychology from its ancient days, when it was inseparable from theology and philosophy, remember, to where it stands today in a world obsessed with data and quick fixes. Sayles lays out 20 key propositions, which is pretty methodical, kind of modelled on Wittgenstein's logic, but, you know, all grounded in the Logos. By Logos, he means the eternal Word of God, a principle that supposedly connects, holds, and gives meaning to everything about the soul. A big insight here is this idea of the second Shemay, which Sayles describes as a sort of higher dimensional domain. Like, think of it as the mind's arena or playing field, shaped and structured by divine information. The quality of our mental health, by this view, isn't just a matter of fixing a chemical imbalance. It's more about whether the soul is aligned with truth or muddled in falsehood. Illusions, misperceptions, even deep anxieties, Sayles argues, aren't just glitches in the brain. They're symptoms of our soul losing touch with the foundational Logos. It's honestly fascinating. Sayles brings in tons of thinkers, from Plato and Aristotle to Augustine, Calvin, and even modern luminaries like Freud and Jung. He's kind of like a historical tour guide, highlighting where each thinker glimpsed a bit of the truth, but here's the punchline, missed the all-important connection to the Logos. The review highlights how every era's psychological models either converged with or veered away from this central idea. Sayles also critiques modern research methods. He suggests that while data is useful, it rarely addresses the deep, maybe unspoken, metaphysical assumptions about what a human is. For, say, psychologists or therapists listening, this might hit home. Are we really just measuring symptoms, or are we missing the forest for the trees? So, what does all this mean for you, the listener? Well, whether you're religious, spiritual, skeptical, or somewhere in between, Sayles' work is asking you to reflect on the why of mental health, not just the how. Maybe the key isn't just symptom relief, but aligning your inner life, your vision of who you are, with something larger, truer, more coherent. At the very least, it's an invitation to see psychology as a field that's well, bigger and messier than a list of diagnoses or a brain scan. So I'll wrap it there. If you're curious about how history, theology, and psychology can cross-pollinate, I seriously recommend checking out Sayles' review and thinking it through for yourself.